At the beginning of the story, we are introduced to a woman named Maddie, who is 32 years old. Maddie's mother had taken out a loan to buy a house, but she has since passed away. Her father lives separately, so Maddie is now solely responsible for repaying the home loan. To earn money, Maddie works nights as an Uber driver and takes a part-time job at a bartender in Montauk, New York, during the day. However, on this particular day, a government official arrives at her house to repossess her car because she missed her most recent loan payment. She faces bankruptcy. To her surprise, the official turns out to be her ex-boyfriend. Maddie tries to convince him not to take the car. She even flirts and tells him that she still likes him, trying to soften him. But just then, the ex-boyfriend sees a man walking out of Maddie's house, someone Maddie had spent the night with. This sight angers him, and he tows the car away. Later, Maddie is at her bar job, where her best friend and the friend's husband also work. Maddie shares her struggles with them and explains how losing her car has made it impossible for her to continue driving at night and pay off her loan. In response, her friend shows her an unusual Craigslist posting from a wealthy family. The family is looking for an attractive young woman to date and burn some calorie with their 18-year-old son in exchange for a Buick Regal, an expensive $40,000 car as a reward. Maddie learns that they are specifically looking for women between the ages of 20 and 25. Despite being 32 years old, Maddie decides to give the job a try, as she desperately needs to find a way to pay off her home loan. The next day, Maddie visits the wealthy family's home, where she meets the couple who placed the ad for their son. They explain that their son, Percy, is 19 years old. He's extremely shy, socially awkward, and spends most of his time alone in his room playing video games. He has very few friends and no experience with girls, alcohol, or parties. Percy is innocent and prefers to stay in his comfort zone, which deeply concerns his parents. They want him to build confidence and become more socially savvy before he leaves for Princeton University. They believe that if he doesn't loosen up and experience life a little before college, it could affect his personal growth and relationships. While they originally hoped to hire a younger woman between the ages of 20 and 25, Maddie convinces them that she's perfect for the role. She assures them that she can help Percy become more confident and socially comfortable. The parents agree and ask Maddie to act as Percy's girlfriend. They even tell Maddie that blood connection with Percy might be necessary to help him open up, and they emphasize that under no circumstances should Percy find out that this is all part of a deal. Later, Maddie borrows her friend's husband's car and heads to an animal shelter where Percy volunteers. She dresses up attractively to get his attention and pretends she wants to adopt a dog. Percy shows her around and eventually takes her to the office to fill out adoption paperwork. Instead of completing the form, Maddie begins to flirt with him. Percy becomes visibly nervous and confused, unsure how to respond. He tries to leave quickly by saying he came on his bicycle, hoping to avoid further interaction. However, Maddie insists on giving him a ride, and before he can refuse, she loads his bicycle into her van, leaving him no option but to join her. During the ride, Percy becomes increasingly anxious, especially when he realizes she's not taking him home but to her own place. He panics, convinced she's kidnapping him. As Maddie stops near her house, Percy grabs pepper spray from his bag and sprays her in the face. She stumbles out of the van, screaming in pain, while Percy escapes. Maddie explains to Percy that she wasn't trying to kidnap him. She just wanted to go on a date with him. She even compliments him. Percy, feeling bad, brings her some water so she can wash her face. He then tells her that he actually does want to go on a date. That night, Maddie takes Percy to a bar, but he shows up wearing shorts, drawing laughter from the crowd. Since Percy doesn't drink, they order juice. Suddenly, Maddie's ex-boyfriend shows up, flaunting his wedding ring and sarcastically thanking Maddie for leaving him, claiming his life improved without her. He warns Percy to stay away from her and walks off. Maddie explains he was an alcoholic, which is why she left him. Later, Maddie takes Percy to a quiet beach. She encourages him to take off his clothes and swim, but Percy hesitates. Maddie confidently strips down and enters the water, eventually convincing Percy to join her. Just as they get comfortable, a group of drunk teens steal their clothes, phones, and wallets. Maddie storms out of the water, completely naked, and fights them off, successfully retrieving their belongings. Percy is disturbed by her aggressive behavior and tells her so, but Maddie defends her actions, saying they would have lost everything otherwise. When Maddie tries to get close again, Percy pulls away, upsetting her. She gets dressed and drives off, but Percy apologizes and she gives him his clothes back and brings him home. Maddie tries again, even dancing for him, but Percy doesn't respond. She asks him to dance too, hoping to speed things up so she can finish the deal and get the car promised by her parents. However, Percy isn't ready for blood connection. He wants to know Maddie better first. Eventually, he kisses her for the first time. Maddie then notices blisters on Percy's back and gently applies lotion. Percy opens up about being bullied by his friends and how he used to avoid going out or talking to girls. Maddie also shares part of her life. Maddie revealing her father cheating on and leaving her mother with a woman in New York City, leaving Maddie to take of her. They begin forming a real bond. Over time, they continue dating, having fun, and learning more about each other. Percy slowly starts coming out of his shell and engaging more with the world around him. Maddie teaches Percy to enjoy life and live freely. That night, they go to a fancy restaurant, where Maddie encourages Percy to play the piano. His performance impresses everyone, including Maddie. There, Percy runs into an old-school friend who invites him to a bachelor party. Maddie, watching them talk, feels a bit jealous. Later, Maddie reveals she'll be leaving town soon, which upsets Percy. In frustration, he heads to the party, and Maddie joins him in the car, trying to stop him. Percy drinks and storms into the party, leaving Maddie behind. She follows him inside, where younger guests mock her, calling her auntie. She ignores them and finds Percy in a room with the girl who invited him. The door is locked, so Maddie bursts in, only to find Percy drunk and unwell. She takes him to the bathroom to help him. Just as adults arrive and tell Maddie to leave, she takes Percy home. In the car, Percy drunkenly confesses his love and says he's ready to be intimate, but Maddie refuses, sensing it's not the right time. The next day, Percy's parents notice he's more confident and mature. But when Percy tells them he doesn't want to go to Princeton anymore because of Maddie, they become worried. They call Maddie and tell her the deal is over. She can take the luxury brick Regal car as agreed, but she's no longer needed. Unknowingly, Percy overhears this conversation through the car's Bluetooth. Heartbroken, he learns Maddie was hired by his parents to help him grow up. The next day, he invites Maddie to lunch with his parents. Pretending he doesn't know the truth, he acts normal, but then he takes the car Maddie was promised, drives it into the forest with a friend, and crashes it into a tree to take revenge. When he returns home, he confronts Maddie, revealing he knows everything. Maddie tries to explain that she didn't mean to hurt him, but Percy doesn't listen and tells her to leave. Maddie gets the wrecked brick Regal car and walks away heartbroken. Percy, now angry at his parents too, withdraws again into his room, ignoring Maddie's calls. Meanwhile, Maddie fixes the brick Regal car and uses the money to pay off her home loan. She even throws a party, where she learns her friend is pregnant. Wanting to help, Maddie sells her home to Jim and Sarah at a low price and plans to move to California to pursue her passion for surfing. Before leaving, Maddie visits Percy's home to apologize but finds he's not there. She gets his address from his parents and goes to meet him, but Percy still doesn't want to talk. Maddie sincerely apologizes, and eventually, Percy forgives her. She tells him she's moving to California, and Percy is happy for her. On the day Percy leaves for Princeton, he packs his bag, says goodbye to his parents, and to his surprise, Maddie shows up to drop him off. They drive away together, ending the movie on a hopeful note. This movie box office is $87.3 million.